Okay, so I'm proud to say we've put in some yellow benches. Doesn't yellow work well? These came from a print shop down in Wodonga, lovely chap, and I'm going to be using this as a bit of a packing area, but for now I needed to work out what we had lying around in receivers and work out what doubles we've got and start, obviously moving on the ones we don't need because we've got 2 or 3 of them in some cases. This is all the mainly the unboxed gear. All the boxed gear is actually up in the new room now, so I've got to also then make a list of what's there instead of carting it all the way down here. Just go through all this, and we'll need a list on both ends actually to be able to draw lines across just to see what there is that we need to get rid of, because as you're probably gazing around on this, you're seeing a few FRG7s, a few Dx1060s, a few R2000s, which to be honest I didn't even know that we still had an R2. I only bought one the other day. We did a video on it, and I actually found another R2000, that one there with the VHF converter in it as well. And when I thought about it, I reckon that was Rob VK2QR. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Rob. I reckon that might be one of yours with the VHF converter in it. If not, it's got to be VK3 November Juliet down there in Gippsland. Can't remember completely. But so what do we got? Let's have a look. This is going to be good for my memory as well as yours. We've actually got a lot more of these Pro Series scanners in the box. 2006, 2004, 2021s, 2022s, 2020, blah blah blah. So there's going to be a few of those coming up. I think we've only got one wrecked FRG1000 left now. So the good news is that we're probably, and as you can see, the one I've got here look really clean, so that's great. Love the 7000. They're really nice. Always thought the colour thing was beautiful. FR100B, I know we've got the two matching transmitters, so if you're looking for a transmitter for your FR100B, we may be the place to talk to. But I know I've got one receiver, 2 transmitters. Then there's things like here, and look, some of this here is probably not of great interest. I love just collecting the history of some of these bits and pieces, the old Sonys and even the Alinco, it's a bit of history there. Then we go on to the Radio Shack gear from the Realistic range. Did they even call them Realistic? No, they just call them Radio Shack. Yeah, it's all right. We've got another boxed FRG 7700, I reckon, up down the other end of the block. But I also noticed, I thought we had a 7700 over here, because we actually had a couple of converters as well. Active antennas more so. That's an 8800. There we go, 7700. All right. So yeah, it's giving you an idea that yes, there could be a 7700 coming up. Things like this here, the Helicrafter, we've only got one of. We're still restoring this. It works fine, don't get me wrong, but we're just looking for little bits, like we're trying to get, we've got a bit of a crack in there. We'd love to get another plate for that. And I think we had one knob with a bit of, bit chewed out on the side there, but the rest of it looked beautiful. This is an SX99, which, just a really great piece of history. A little bit like the HA800 Lafayette. Probably not the most stable machine, the 800, but I've got to say, once it warmed up, they're okay. But where do you find a Lafayette these days? It's getting harder. Oh, look, we've got boxes and boxes of, and I'll sort out what we've got and what we haven't got. Dick Smith, anything with Dick Smith's name on it. As you know, we're trying to get a lot of this stuff signed, so we've been on a 3-year vigil to get this done, and I've got a mate who's back in Australia now that should be able to put us in touch and get us sorted out there. By the way, this is not Dick Smith's fault, it's our fault. We've sort of had someone that knows him quite well that's been overseas working, and but it's not urgent. We'll get there. Some of the old sort of, we don't do a lot of this. We'd like to do more, to be honest. Nearly had a shot at maybe expanding the collection into AM radios the other day, but not yet. But that doesn't mean it won't happen, but some of these things, very nice. This is an FR101. Now, everything you're seeing at the moment is a receiver, but that doesn't mean you can't easily, have the matching transmitter. Now, we do have the matching transmitter for this, but I think, in fact, we may have 2 transmitters, so I'll come back and, you'll see some stuff advertised soon that'll sort of tell you what we had double ups of. Have a look at this Hammerland. I mean, is this nice? This came from an old mate of mine in Wodonga, and I absolutely would have walked over broken glass to get this, and he was really good. Now, he had it set up with, now, that's correct, that's why we've got an extra transmitter. This model, Yaesu, but the transmitter side of that, he had that set up, so the transmitter was working with the Hammerlund, and we to be very honest, we may even set it up that way, just to show a bit of old history. So it might turn up that we haven't got a spare transmitter, but you know, we'll see. We'll just see what happens. As you can see, space is becoming our issue. So this is why I want to get this video is about warning you the double ups are coming soon, because I've got to get these out of here because we're just running out of room. I set these benches up, and look, this is only half the receivers I've got. There's a lot more, but I just thought I'd have a look at what we've got and then make some lists and see where we go. Now, this is an Eddystone, which same friend Joss over in Wodonga. Look at the box he's put it in. Beautiful. Just, I mean, it's a. We'll get onto these and we'll do some video reviews of them. Just give me a bit of time just to get sorted. This one here, now, if it's the one I think it is, just let me check something. Look, we'll get more in depth into this later on. What I loved about this, have a look at this. Battery, inverter, valve radio. Don't think that'll have any charge left in it. We'll check it in a second, but we will get a fresh battery onto it and show you. Amazing concept. This was the valve radio concept back in the day, and oops, it's a bit dark here, isn't it, actually? But yep, golden voice. Now, I don't think we'll get any noise. Where's the on-off switch? Oh, you're kidding. That battery's been in there a little while. Now, this is the antenna, this part here. Now, we'll do a full thing on this later on, but anyway, let's just give you an idea. This is valve operated, and look at that. It crackles and pops when you don't knock the on-off button off. But we won't receive anything in here in the shed, unfortunately. Anyway, all right, all good fun. Turn that off so the battery doesn't go flat. So, that's a really nice old piece of history that just we'll get into a bit later. Things like the National Panasonic, we've got the DR48, the DR49. There's a DR28 sitting up there. I'm pretty sure we've either got another 49 or 48 that's going to come up for sale. So just keep your ears and eyes open for when that comes up. QR666. Did I see another one of those? Hang on. Don't think so. I reckon that's our only QR666. And also there's an R300 Kenwood as well. These are really nice to put against each other because whilst they changed everything as far as the colouring with, you know, they went lighter here, darker here, etc. They went lighter there, they went darker there. You know, it was quite a bit of change in the two models. When you put them side by side, it's very interesting to have a bit of a play. They just phenomenal sort of receivers to have a bit of a play with when we get them out and onto the bench. DR28, a lot of people had these back in the day, and yeah, a bit of fun for sure, just HF, VHF, etc. Now, here's a bit of a blast from the past. Remember the Patrolmans out of Radio Shack, or Realistic, it's Handy's over here in Australia, but Radio Shack in the US? The Pro 29 dual band VHF. And this was good for listening from 30 to 50 megs, and where to go? 152, I'm just trying to read this on the side here, to 174. But yeah. Dx1000, I know we've got a few of these, so get ready for a few 302s to come up. Actually, I saw one just before, another one just before somewhere. Where the hell was that? Okay, somewhere. That's a 300 in the box. That was Riggs, that's right. We've done a review on that. Oh, here we go. There's another 302 down here. It was right in front of me. Unbelievable. So, yeah, you'll see one of those come up for sure, because we only need one of those. This is the... is that Panasonic, is it? Jeez, I'm having trouble there. Yeah, National Panasonic RF3100. Don't know much about this one yet, so I say RF3100, but it says DR31 here. More to be found out about that one, but I know we've only got one, so not really as relevant. 7700s, which we pointed out. I think there was another one in the box over there, and there's another one in the box sitting inside the other room, so there will be some 7700s coming up. 8800s, I know for a fact we've only got one, so that stays. 394. I reckon we've got 3 or 4 or 5 of these sitting around, so you'll see a few of these come up in time. And we'll get rid of converters and bits if we've got spares and etc. So to try and give you half a chance to, you know, have a fairly complete set. This thing here was just a bit of a pickup. I've got to get knobs for it, and look, it's not even an expensive radio, but it's just different, you know. And we love different. I love different, possibly. Dx1000 Bearcat. I know for a fact, yes, we've got 2 of those. So there will be a Dx1000 Bearcat coming up. Unfortunately, this one's got a bit of a mark on the top which need to be cleaned up, but that will be the one being sold because we've got not an unmarked, but they're both much of a much, just a few little marks. Here's the funny one, the R2000 that I bought from Glenn the other day and we fixed up. Didn't even know we had one out here, but so we will have a spare one of those coming up. These are just little trinkety things that, yeah, don't worry about those. This is the Sony Icf 6800, and this was a really sought after receiver. Just when you feel the VFO on these, they just feel beautiful. There's a lot of precision that went into them. Just trying to remember the other radio that had a VFO to die for. I'll find it in a minute. I just was thinking that it was very similar to the 6800. Anyway, we'll find it in a minute. There's a few here. FRG7, we've got millions of them, so yes, there'll be a run on FRG7s. The run will be us trying to sell them to you, not you trying to buy them from us. SSR1, that's Drake. I know we've got 2 or 3, but I've got one up with Andy at the moment, which is coming down, and I sort of want to compare. And look, I'm not going to try and kid you guys. We always try and keep the best one for the display if we can, and that doesn't mean that the one we're selling is bad. It just means the one we've got is possibly, you know, a bit more mint. There's mint and less mint. Lots of these, as I was mentioning before. I'll show you another spot in a minute where I know where there's a heap. I just didn't have room to put them for now. As we mentioned, the Bearcat Dx1000 will be one of those coming up. Very rare, these things. This is the SP325. These were made for the Navy, and to be very honest with you, I've got it up and running, but I've still got a filter cap I've got to replace, but we've only got one of those. I just want to get that perfect so that it's ready to go to display. As you can see, what looks like they're two exactly the same, but they're not two exactly the same, believe it or not. There's the 9R59DS and the 9R59D, no S. Now, a quick look, I'm just trying to see, I'm not even going to tell you I know the difference, so I'm having a quick look between the two, scanning between them, and trying to tell you what they changed, if there was any front panel changes. Now, somebody can write in the notes file if you'd like what the difference was, but I'm not seeing all the modes seem the same. Anyway, so there you go. Oh, look, we've got loads of these sort of handhelds around the place. This is an MVT 7100. We've got the 7000s, 9000s, all those. Well, that's interesting. I've got the book for the 9000. That's clever. And that's the 7100. Right, clever. But there you go. There's a picture of the 9000. Doesn't look that much different, actually. Anyway. But yes, I've got a whole stack of those Upaterias, so some of those will probably come up. This here was something we were just restoring. This is your old car radio where you pulled it out of the dash, would you believe it? Anyway, ICR 8500 that's brand new in the box. It's just crazy, and we'll talk about that one at some stage. But yeah, that's just still on the warranty, that thing. Long story. All right, what else have we got? We'll have some DX200s by the look of it, because there was a DX200 in the box over here. So once again, keep a look out there. Oh, we were talking about QR666s before. Okay, so there will be a QR666 because there's one there and there's one up there. So, yep, fair enough. Once again, another 160. You can never have enough DX160s. R4A sitting under the bench here. I think we've only got one of those. Oh, we're having a run on DX200s. So that makes 3 DX200s, because we've got one over there down the far end, one up there, one there, and possibly another boxed one sitting in the new room. So once again, there'll be some of those coming up. Some of these are things we've only bought just recently. This good mate of mine, Glenn, sold me a D2999, really nice unit. This satellite 3400 was the one we did a fair bit of work on over a weekend or so, and that came up very nicely. And here's the mysterious R2000 that we didn't have another one of, but we do have another one of, and the DX300 we reviewed just recently. ICR 72 that we reviewed just recently. We've got a few, actually there'll be some 9000s coming up for sure. FRG7, never get sick of those. Alright, down here, yeah, there's just more DX160s that'll come up. And it looks like they've got speakers too, so that's kind of nice. This one comes complete with cobwebs as well, the FRG7, that's really nice. Under this box, hang on, I need to move that. This is the Trio JR500 SE, a pretty rare beast. We had to sort of pay a little bit of money for this. What he wanted for initially, there was so much interest in it, the price just kept on going up. But he was very fair, by the way. His price was way too low when he first started, so, to be very honest. And what was paid for it was actually really quite okay, but it was funny watching the price go up as he learnt more about what his receiver might be worth. And the good thing is we're generally pretty honest about that sort of stuff. What's this one? Another National Panasonic and a Stromberg Carlson down there, which, you know, we just need a knob for to make that sort of finish off a bit nicer. So if you've got any old knobs and bits for some of these radios we've been talking about and you think they might help us out, we're always interested to certainly do that. Now, I don't think it's worth, hang on, just have a little look. Okay, what I was saying before about the FR and FL series, yes, I've got an FL100B and an FL200B, so I've just sort of, this is my now correcting what I said, but that was pretty right. And let's have a little look. And where we talked about the FR101, well, this is the FL101 that was matching up with the Hammerland that we were talking about a little bit earlier. But as you can see, actually, I think that was the one that might have been with the Hammerland, just sitting over here. So, yeah, I think if we keep it as a set, we probably won't have a spare transmitter because we'll probably leave this one with the actual FR101 and we might put that one back with the Hammerland. This is all relevant to space and how much space we can, you know, find. We need more space. Now, there were a few more. Okay, these are some areas that I can't fit around the other side. There's quite a bit over here, and we'll get to that a little bit later on and try and make some sense. But I've got to clear a lot of these out the way because we want to redo these shelves, and we've got to get all these, like there's just boxed gear everywhere through here that, you know, needs to be somewhere a little bit more sensible. Oh, there you go. We were talking about the scanners before. There's some more of them there. So that's the Pro 2021. Maybe if I go the other side, it might give us a bit of a look at any other receivers. No, I'm just having a little look through here. No, the rest of them are definitely, I think, oh, hang on, what's this down here? Oh, Pro 2022 in there, hidden away. Once again, you know, a lot of these Radio Shack products, they were really good, but these are all new. They've basically, a lot of these haven't been opened before. There's quite a bit of that in this mess. Okay, well, that's given you a bit of an idea what's coming up in some of the double-up receiver stuff, and you know how to message me. Most of you know how to get on to me if you need to. If you see something that's of particular interest that you reckon is going to be a double-up for us, yeah, you know, drop us a line, and we can always talk about it and see what we can do. But I do know this, that we definitely have to get the stuff, some of it, out of here and make some room for other stuff coming. I've got Andy coming down with quite a bit. There's a fair bit coming down from Tanya in Queensland, so this is an effort to try and make some room for some of the gear that's coming in from some good friends of mine that really do. I'm so thankful. They run after me like you wouldn't believe it. Look, you know, special thanks to Tanya, Andy, Andre, geez, Rick, Ted. You know, there's quite a few of you who, you know, I could go through. Phil, you know, actually, I mean, and these are repeat offender guys that, you know, have been helping me so much, so really appreciate all your help. Okay, well, that's it. That's just a quick look at what's happening on the receiver front. For once, no microphones connected. That's very unusual for me, but this is us starting to get sorted, so hopefully we'll get there soon. 73's to you, all the best, and thanks for having a look at our bit of a fun video. All the best, cheers.